Well, another day, and that fucking name just keeps. I don't know what the angle is for the Danny name or these other offshoot names that probably still mean that person's name, back and forth, as if I'm fucking talking to this guy. And for years I've been reacting and just all frustrated because it just goes ignored or whatever. And they slowly like make me feel like I did something wrong, and they're doing this to me because I did something or whatever. But that's not the case. That's not the case. And even while I'm sitting there flustered, I just wonder if the bad guys are monitoring like my thoughts and everything and just fucking with me, and as if I'm someone that did something wrong or something. The more I catch little pieces of this, and they notice that I hear, and then expect me to keep like listening or talking is bullshit. Because in between all that, if there's noises back and forth talking to each other and I ain't saying nothing, but if I breathe through my fucking and vibrate and hear what supposedly I'm saying or something else is saying, they think that I said it. No, and when I breathe hard while some dumb shit is being said, if it's something that like favors an asshole that's trying to pass himself off as or whatever, it's like they zoom in on it. But I mean, I've been crying and screaming, and that's being expressed. And there ain't no no. It's just either the asshole splices it as if it's his boggle, like if he's crying, like if he's emotional, like if he's singing or thinking, or like when a involuntary statement or pieces of chatter pop into my head, my unfiltered private reaction that doesn't intend on feeding into it thinks of something, and sure enough, either like an asshole impression snatches that involuntary reaction and regurgitates it as if I said it, and it would piss me off because something would sound like it reacts back to the reaction I was thinking of, that didn't want to go forth, that didn't want to shoot out in a certain direction, but I guess something grabs that as if it's being said to something, and they shoot it off like to misplay something or whatever. Like my name's Samuel Velez, but the asshole will have. I would notice that there would be a Sammy V and a Dan or some other thing, like they'd be talking to each other, and I'm thinking, what? And then I'd get taunted by like the asshole. Like if one of them's reading my thoughts or whatever and they want to torture me, they like they'll fuck with my head, like, oh, like no matter what I suppose, like supposedly no matter what's thought or reacted to, that supposedly something thinks it's him on either or whatever. And I think they just say that so if I hear it, they want to see if I envision it or something, or some dumb shit. But every time I just like react to something, or like I just know something, they're full of shit, or torturing me about killing some family that I didn't know, or whatever. And then when the noises started, one impression just popped up and just like strong-armed me, talking about it didn't have to ask, and that it just like marinated like just like a dickhead with no, I don't know if it thought I was someone else or knew who I don't know what what that was, and then just fucking with me and feeling weird shit and shit about if I fucking feel or whatever, and then other impressions with some other thing or whatever. I don't know if the first impression was there to like fuck with my head, and then these other impressions asking or saying that something wanted to see me, or if for me to say I fucking see some, I don't know. But it's been years now, and one of the noises would make it sound like if I'm saying it to someone else or someone's saying it to me, that, oh, how many times I have to say that like making it sound like I'm telling someone that I don't know how to see sound. I mean, and just from just bits and pieces here and there, something will fuck with my head when it knows I heard something, and then it'd be like, well, I mean, from all the torture and like just this bullshit that I don't even want to feed into anyways, when I do like feed into it, they'll say something like, oh, now that I have your attention, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, no, and even that reaction, like, no, I've heard it say yes, or just all kinds of dumb shit that I wouldn't even have known, that probably created more confusion or more false impressions of something. So all that put together, that's some trippy ass shit. And it's a fucking trip. How like names of people from my past, an actual person named Sam, and just other people, those names that circulated in the beginning, they like slowly, I don't know if they slowly befriended or tricked people that I know or something, made them think that they were me or something. But like slowly, people that I've never like communicated with in this fashion, and yet still in this fashion, still isn't no communication. It's all like reacting, and when stuff would come across my perception, I would and reacted privately in my head and just like would shrug it off and try and get back to what I'm doing. I mean, I had no idea that any reaction or thought or whatever, something was fucking like regurgitating it. And like the first few years of crying and yelling and just like, what the fuck? It here and there, something would sound like it reacted back to my boggle, not knowing something else was regurgitating it, and I guess anything I would have reacted to or whatever probably is either scrambled or not heard or something. I mean, all those times crying and yelling and something sounding like, like they're trying to get to the bottom of something or whatever. But I wouldn't even like want to react. I'd just be like mad, like thinking the same shit. And sure enough, for heck of the first few, even now, still, I forgot what else I was gonna. Yeah, that name, the name of this dude, and it's like one. It's like two different directions. Like one impression would, like I guess mention his name, and then I think of his, this fucking whatever this organ is. It hears something. If something says a rock or a squirrel or a tree, that image pops up. But I would hear his name and it would pop up in my head, and I'd think of him based on his name, and another noise off in the distance, like barely, my fucking chest. I think they're pissed off that I'm making a video of. But something way off in the distance I don't know if it sounded like someone acting like me, saying, man, why is this guy always thinking about it? He's always thinking. So, just all these little things. I don't know what they're tricking or who or what, but, this is tiring. It's fucking exhausting. It's like, man, I mean, I be out here on the street sometimes and wanting to socialize, and a noise would salt me up around women like, oh, that's all he wants is pussy. He just wants pussy. Don't talk to him. He just wants to fuck him. He ain't no good. He's this or that or whatever. All right? And I'm like, dang. And then my lonely ass comes home and I'm bored, and if I like release some tension or something, it's like a big deal. It's like like if it's like the ultimate sin or something. And I just got through coming back in from the streets where some of these gals are brutalized and abused by other dudes that be like right there by them. And I avoid that type of behavior and get pressed on for, like, if there's a big ass fucking stadium or something, probably. I don't know, I don't like imagining it or thinking that, but it seems kind of fucked up that I don't know, like if there's people watching a wounded bull and making bets or something, if the matador is gonna fucking shove a fucking sword through his back, or if the bull's gonna run through the crowd and jump on shit and start shooting people, or if it's just gonna, I don't know. I've never seen a bull just sit there and cry and be like, man, motherfuckers, just goddamn respect my nature. I don't know. I life's a trip.